Should they attempt to investigate its nature, they would be exposed to his wiles. They were admonished to give careful heed to the warning which God has sent them, and to be content with the instruction which he had seen fit to impart, in order to accomplish his work unperceived. Satan chose to employ as his medium the serpent, a disguise well adapted for his purpose of deception. Yashif-shifta lo mntu. The serpent was one of the wisest and most beautiful creatures on the earth. It had wings, and while flying through the air presented an appearance of dazzling brightness, having the color and brilliancy of burnished gold. Resting in the rich laden branches of the forbidden tree, and regaling itself with the delicious fruit, it was an object to arrest the attention and delight the eye of the beholder. Thus, in the garden of peace, lurked the destroyer, watching for his prey. The angels had cautioned Eve to be aware of separating herself from her husband while occupied in their daily labor in the garden. With him, she would be in less danger from temptation than if she were alone. But absorbed in her pleasing task, she unconsciously wandered from his side. On perceiving she was alone, she felt an apprehension of danger, but dismissed her fears, deciding that she had sufficient wisdom and strength to discern evil and to withstand it. Unmindful of the angel's caution, she soon found herself gazing with mingled curiosity and admiration upon the forbidden tree. The fruit was very beautiful, and she questioned with herself why God had withheld it from them. Now was the tempter's opportunity. As if he were able to discern the workings of her mind, he addressed her, Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden? Eve was surprised and startled, as she thus seemed to hear the echo of her thoughts. But the serpent continued in a musical voice, with subtle praise of her surpassing loveliness, and his words were not displeasing. Instead of fleeing from the spot, she lingered wonderingly to hear a serpent speak. Had she been addressed by a being like angels, her fears would have been excited, but she had no thought that the fascinating serpent could become the medium of the fallen foe. To the tempter's ensnaring question, she replied, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. By partaking of this tree, he declared, they would attain a more exalted sphere of existence and enter a broader field of knowledge. He himself had eaten of the forbidden fruit, and as a result had acquired the power of speech. And he insinuated that the Lord jealously desired to withhold it from them, lest they should be exalted to equality with himself. It was because of its wonderful properties, imparting wisdom and power, that he had prohibited them from tasting or even touching it. The tempter intimated that the divine warning was not to be actually fulfilled. It was designed merely to intimidate them. How could it be possible for them to die? Had they not eaten of the tree of life? God had been seeking to prevent them from reaching a nobler development and finding greater happiness. Such has been Satan's work from the day of Adam to the present, and he has pursued it with great success. He tempts men to distrust God's love and to doubt his wisdom. He is constantly seeking to excite a spirit of irreverent curiosity, a restless, inquisitive desire to penetrate the secret of divine wisdom and power. In their efforts to search out what God has been pleased to withhold, multitudes overlook the truths which he has revealed and which are essential for salvation. Satan tempts men to disobedience by leading them to believe they are entering a wonderful field of knowledge. But this is all a deception. Elated with their ideas of progression, they are, by trampling on God's requirements, setting their foot in the path that leads to degradation and death. Laqhubeka ke ibali ndikhe phakathi nendawo. Kuphenduleke nombuzo ebendinawo uba ke kutheni when women are in marriages, majority of them, they get the bad end of the stick. Diphendulekile apha xa esithi, in creation God had made her the equal of Adam. Had they remained obedient to God in harmony with his great law of love, they would have been in harmony with each other. But sin had brought discord, and now their union could be maintained and harmony preserved only by submission on the part of the one or the other. So as much as badalwa be-equal, ukungamameli kwabo kwavele kwatshintsha iposition ebekuyo ungaqhubeka ke and read the rest of the story, but ke that is Genesis 1, 2 and 3 apho bezawunikwa ne-punishment yabo. I'm reminded of ingoma ethi, it is good for a man not to touch a woman, nevertheless to avoid fornication. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. 1 Corinthians 7:1-3. It is good for a man not to touch a woman, nevertheless to avoid fornication. It is good for a man not to touch a woman, nevertheless to avoid fornication. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 1-3.